Hi guys, today I'm going to be printing on some t-shirts for a friend of mine, and I figured I might as well show you what I'm doing and make this a video. So, first of all, things you will need. You will need your phone to fall on the ground. That's super important. Can't make a video with the phone falling. First, you will need your heat press. This is just a simple household Cricut. You will need a polyester t-shirt. I've already done the front of the t-shirt. You will need a lint roller. You will need parchment paper. You will need to print out your design. I've already got it printed out. You need sublimation paper and you need a sublimation printer. And that is all you need. Okay. I'm not using heat tape for this because I don't think you need to. But if you don't feel comfortable, definitely you will need heat tape as well. But with something like a t-shirt, I've never needed it. Okay, so let's screw the phone back in. Alright, so I've already done the front of the shirt, so now I have to flip this shirt over. And we are going to get the design on the back of the shirt. Now, I stuck parchment paper inside the shirt, so that way there's no way ink could bleed. So it's inside the shirt. We don't want the ink to bleed from the front to the back, and it will do that. So always stick parchment in the middle. Sandwich it. Okay, so now let's show you what we've got going on. I'm going to get my mug out of the way so you can see what we got. Okay, so we have our printout. This is what it looks like. It's actually printed in reverse, but because I have mirror on my camera, you're seeing it properly. You want this printed in reverse, so when you're looking at it, you can't read it. But when the camera looks at it, it's fine. If that's the case, you're good. All right. Now, my printer is having this issue where it's like coating the edge of the paper with ink, so I'm cutting that off just in case. You can't tell on the camera, but it's definitely a thing in person. Okay, so now there's no ink anywhere we don't want it. We are going to take our handy dandy lint roller, and we are going to lint roll of the shirt. I've already done this once, and my table was pretty clean, but we are going to do it again anyway. And the reason why you need to lint roll every single time is because lint has color pigment, and the color pigment will transfer to your shirt. It just will. It's not as important for like darker shirts, but if you have a white shirt, this could ruin your whole project. So always lint roll, and then take a good look at your print, especially if you have cats. Make sure there's no lint or fur on your image. And there's not. Okay, so now this is important. So I'm actually going to take my time, and I'm going to line my image to the center of my shirt, and I am going to play with that. So you want to make sure that this is the same on both sides. It is. You want to make sure it's the same going down. It is a little crooked, so there we go. Okay, so now once you have your paper even and it is upside down so the image is touching the shirt, we are going to cover with parchment. Alright, so I have a piece of parchment here, and we are going to cover the shirt with parchment. So we have parchment on the inside of the shirt, and now parchment on top of our paper. And that's important because when you are heating the paper, the ink might transfer through the back of the paper and ruin your heat plate for your printer. And that is the silver plate here. And it's very hard for you to get that off. So next time you print something, you'll have what's called ghosting. Ghosting is where you have kind of like the ghost of the last thing you pressed on your next picture. And it might not show up like in like indoor lighting, but if you're out in the sun, you'll notice there's like this kind of transparent image behind your image, and it just looks like crap. So always make sure that you are protecting your tools. In this case, that is my heat press, and there are lots of different heat presses out there. This is just the cheapest household version, and this is what I got right now, so this is what we're using. I am putting decent pressure on my press. The reason for that is because these are cheaply made, and the heating element might not be heating the entire plate evenly, and it helps to give it a little bit of pressure. Industrial ones will kind of close like a sandwich maker, and those are honestly the best because they put pressure evenly. I am doing that myself, and I'm just giving it a little rub down. All right, I usually count to 30, and then I slowly move my press down, and then there's a corner of the paper here. I'm gonna lift that up, and I'm just gonna peek and see if it's ready, and I can tell that there's a little bit on the top that it's not ready. So I'm going to press a little bit more, and this is pretty much what we do. So I am making a couple business shirts for a friend of mine's business, and I will post his business in the video. If you want some cool photography done, you can contact him, and if you want some custom made shirts, you can contact me. All right, now I'm going to test again, and by doing that I'm peeling the paper up just a little bit. Now the press is still on the rest of the paper. That's important. I'm just peeling it up a little bit, and yeah, that is much better. So now I'm gonna lift up. You will do that in one solid motion, and then quickly peel. And the reason you want to quickly peel is because this is still hot enough to ghost. Now remember, ghosting is putting the image on your shirt or whatever, okay? And these words here are darker than the dragon, and these words will definitely print twice. So you do not want that. So when you pull your print off, do it really quickly. And then I throw them on the floor. And then give it a second so you're not burning your fingers. Take your middle piece out, and let me show you what we've got. So, all right, here is the back. And if it is backwards to you, that's good because the camera is on mirror. I can read it perfectly though. And then here is the front. And once again, it's going to be backwards to you, but it is right side out to me. And it looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, I bought these shirts off Amazon. If you want to find some polyester shirts, the brand is Custom Sublimation, and maybe you can see it, the tag. Okay, this one is a 4XL, but it's 95 polyester and 5% spandex. And that's important. You need it to be over 50% polyester if you can. If it's less than 50% polyester, it'll still press, but what's going to happen is it won't hold up over many washes. So like you might get 30 wears out of it before it fades. But if it's all polyester, it will never fade. And that's the difference. So you want it to be, ideally, to prevent fading, over 75% polyester. In this case, it's 95%. So this shirt should be good for my friend until it's full of holes and he asked me to make new ones. I hope that was helpful to you. Bye!